Okay, good afternoon all. Today I'm going to complete the problem what I have started in the last class. So by concluding that problem, we shall wind up the session today. Okay, so I don't want to wait for anyone to get joined. So we shall discuss the topics. Meanwhile, your friends will going to get joined, right? Now already yesterday we have seen that an equivalent circuit. I think so. This is the equivalent circuit we have drawn in the last class. Now, as far as this is concerned, this is the generator. And already we have taken the base values of the entire system as 11 kV and 100 MVA. If you are considering that one, obviously this is J.25. J.25. Now, so at the terminals of your generator, there may be a three-phase fault. Now this is fault. That means VF. So node, at that particular node you will have this one. So this is VM. Okay, so this is J.4. Now this is EM double dash. Okay, so finally this is J 0.05. J 0.05. Now this is the equivalent circuit of the single line diagram what he has given in the problem. Now we have considered that. So this is IG double dash. Now here I have wrongly marked it as. So this is EG double dash. So this is IG double dash, and one more current is trying to flow in this direction. So I am taking that as IM double dash. Okay. Now this is the equivalent circuit, and you have been asked to determine what is the fault current. So finally, as far as Sorbotion theorem is concerned, we know that the fault current is the combination of IG double dash plus IM double dash. So once if you know what is the magnitude of IG double dash and IM double dash, obviously when the combination of these two currents will gives you the total fault current that is flowing through the terminals of your generator. Okay. So in that aspect already we have determined the IL actual. So IL is equal to, see, already I have completed all these things. So that's why directly I'm writing the answers. 2636.6 amperes. Okay. This is, I think it is 3 2636.3 amperes. Now the base current is given by base current IB is given by 5248.6 5248.63. Okay, so this is your load current, the load actual load current, and see how do you get this load current? So as far as the given single line diagram is concerned, we are considering that motor is nothing but a load. Motor itself acts as a load. So already the ratings of the load are already given to you. That is a 40 megawatts with 10.95 kV at 0.8 power factor leading, right? So in order to obtain the IL per unit, we need to consider the actual value by base value. Okay, so if you determine the actual value by base value, obviously you will get these value. So 0.502. See, you have to maintain calculators, otherwise you don't know whether these values are correct or not. Sometimes my answers are also maybe wrong, sometimes, not all the times, sometimes. So in that case you need to rectify my mistakes. So I think IL per unit is equal to 0.5022 at an angle of 336.86. Why? Because he has given that it is a leading power factor. So lagging power factor, leading power factor, in both the cases, so you need to apply the sign changes, right? So in rectangular form, the value of this is given by 0.402 plus J 0.301. Right now, what is VM? VM. So here you will have VM double dash. Now what is VM or VM? So you just forget about that VM double dash. You consider it as VM. Now how do we obtain the VM? VM in per units. So VM in per units is equal to the original value by the base value. So original value is for the motor. The terminal voltage of the motor is given by the terminal voltage of the motor. So terminal voltage means, so this one, so this one, terminal voltage of the motor is given by in per unit. It is given by already the voltage of the motor is directly given to you, that is at 10.95. So the terminal voltage can be obtained as the actual value of the voltage, divided by the base value. Now what is the answer? So I think you will get 0.9954 per unit. 0.9954 per unit. Is it not? Okay. So this is in terms of per unit, Now we are going to determine VF here. So how do we obtain VF? So VF per unit is equal. So this is the node voltage. So VF is the node voltage at this point, and VM is the motor voltage at this terminals. Okay. So how can you obtain all these things, right? That is also very important. Okay. Please do remember. Now VF is equal to, so I'm going to determine the voltage at this point, particular fault point. Okay. So you are going to add directly, so the two voltage combination of motor voltage plus the voltage drop across this J 0.05, that means the transmission line reactance is nothing but the VF. So VF is equal to VM plus IL load current multiplied by J 0.05. Is it not? So directly you can substitute VM is equal to 0.9954, 0.9954. See, all these are comes from the basics of KCL, KVL, etc. Okay, already, so the terminal voltage of the motor is directly obtained as VM. VM is equal to 0.9954. Okay, again, you need not use EM double dash. Why? Because you don't know EM double dash, you don't know EG double dash. Okay, so without knowing these things, it is not possible to determine the voltage across this one. So that's why directly has given that the voltage across the motor section is given by 11 kV. sorry, 10.995 kV. So we are converting that actual value to the per unit value. If you are converting that actual value of the voltage to the per unit value, you will get 0.9954. So Vm plus the current which is flowing through that the J 0.05 is nothing but the IL, load current. So load current multiplied by that one is equal to Vf. So finally 0.9954, and this you will get 0.5022 502 IL per unit. You see this, okay, at an angle of 36.8 multiplied by 0.05 at an angle of 90. Okay, if you solve this, you will get 0.90465 plus J 0.1206. Is it not? 1206. Just you wait a moment. I will convert that in terms of polar rectangular. I mean rectangle. This is a rectangular form. I am converting that in terms of polar form. Just wait a moment. I am having the calculator. 65 plus shift I multiplied by 0.1206. So 0.9126. Just wait a moment. Okay, see, if you convert the rectangular form to polar form, I think you will get the point. See, if you have calculators, you please verify this. So 0.9127 at an angle of 7.59, 7.59, right? Okay, now this is the case. Now this is the case, right? Okay. Now, so how do we determine EG double? See, IG double dash is equal to, I will tell you the formula also. How can you obtain IG double dash? IG double dash is equal to, IG double dash is equal to EG double dash divided by J 0.25. This is very easy. Okay. So once if you obtain EG double dash, obviously it is very easy to calculate IG double dash. So similarly, IM double dash is equal to, IM double dash is equal to EM double dash, EM double dash divided by J 0.4, 0.4. Simple. Sorry, 0.45. Why? Because you are also having that the additional reactance. So once if you obtain EG double dash and IM double dash, obviously it is very easy to get the IG double dash, okay, and IM double dash. Now our intention is to calculate Eg double dash. Now you see here. So from this circuit diagram, I'm going to obtain Eg double dash as, so Eg double dash is equal to, I'm giving you the formula how to calculate. So Eg double dash is equal to Vf plus IL into J 0.5. Suppose, see why I am writing IL here. If in case the fault does not exist at all, the generator terminals have been directly connected to the motor terminals. Now in this particular case, motor acts as a load. So whatever may be the current that is flowing through the motor is nothing but IL. So that's why directly I'm considering it as IL. So in order to obtain Eg double dash, first of all, we have to determine Vf and later IL multiplied by J 0.25. So this is the formula. Okay. So in place of Vf, you need to substitute all these things. So 0.90465 plus J 0.1206, etc. Similarly, how can you obtain Em dash? How can you obtain Em dash? So Em dash is equal to, now again, the same case. In this case also, Em double dash, Em dash. So Em dash is equal to Vf, sorry, 0.994, Vm plus IL into J 0.4. J 0.4. See, here I want to know only the voltage across this one. Okay. The current which is also flowing through that 0.4, not from this J 0.05. I'm not going to include that one. So just I want to know what is the drop across that motor. So that's why here I have written like this. So the terminal voltage plus IL into J 0.4. So if you determine and you later, you please do these problems and verify your answers in later stage. That means next, when you are finding a free time. But directly here, I'm going to write down Ig double dash and you need to determine. Okay, you need to determine these one. So Ig double dash is equal to Ig double dash is equal to 3.5862. This is per unit. 5862 multiplied by 52. This is the base value. If you multiply per unit with the base value, you will get the actual value. 5248.63. Now what is the answer? So directly here I am giving you the answer. 18.824 amperes. You just wait a moment. Is it 18,000 or 18,528.63 multiplied by 3.5862? Not 18 point, it is 18,822. 18,822.63 amperes. This is the amount of current that is trying to flow from generator section. Next, similarly, Im double dash is equal to 2.5937 multiplied by 5248.8, 48.63. Now let us verify what is the answer you will get. So 2.5937 multiplied by 5248.63. 13,613. 13,613. 613.37 amperes. 37 amperes, right? So once if we get Ig double dash and Im double dash, later we need to determine If. So If is equal to the combination of Ig double dash plus Im double dash. Now the final answer is 32,000. Wait, 18,822.63 plus 13,613.37. 13,436. Sorry, 32,436 amperes. Now this is your final answer. You please note down this one. See, once if you understand the problem, how to solve it, so obviously everything is very easy. The only thing is, first of all, you need to identify proper base values for the entire system. Later, you need to identify where the fault is existing, and based on that, you will go into you are going to find out the values of currents and the voltages. So this is the amount of fault current that is trying to flow. Okay. Please note down this. Note down at least the answers. Later you will determine whether these answers are correct or not. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you please ask me the questions. Or at least you just raise your hand so that I will give you control for unmuting yourselves. Don't have questions? See, please try to write down the first assignment and submit it as early as possible to my mail. Okay. Now with this, I am going to conclude this session now. So we are also having one more topic in this chapter. Within 2 to 3 classes, I shall complete this fourth chapter also. Okay. Thank you.